Hello, this is Super Saiyan 7 Cinders. Thank you for watching another one of my videos. Today I'm bringing to you another Rambo Neos build. I have done some of these in the past, but there's a lot of new OCG cards out that hopefully are coming to TCG here soon that make this deck a whole lot more playable. Gives it a lot more speed, a lot more mobility, a lot more stability. Uh, and so I figured I'd give it another shot. This deck itself is 44 cards, 21 monsters, 20 spells, 3 traps. The side deck, we'll start here. Basically everything in the side deck was in the main deck before certain cards got put in or taken, or I decided I just didn't need them. So here we go. I've got 3 rainbow dragons, 3 blue eyes white dragon, 2 elemental hero Neos, 3 elemental hero Neos Alis, 3 Denko Sekka, honest, elemental hero Blazeman, 3 elemental hero Blazemans, and 3 elemental hero Shadow Mist. Now, most of these cards, pretty obvious, If you know what Blazeman and Shadow Mist do by now, you know those are extremely powerful engine in the hero builds, and even actually useful for other decks as well. Just any hero type in general, so it works for Destiny heroes. And then Blazeman, I use Blazeman in a lot of different decks just to give me that polymerization, fusing power. But you've got Denko Sekka, and I'm sure those blue eyes have to look weird to some of you in here. But part of that's because of the spell card that really triggered the idea for this deck, for the blue eyes anyway. And Denko Sekka, she wasn't in here initially. I had the Prismas in here, but I realized that with the combination of Blazeman and Shadow Mist, I just didn't need Prisma. I mean, especially, and that's part of why I also cut down to 2 Neos instead of 3. Is I've got the ways within my spells to get back the Neos. If I need the third one back, I can do that without any problem. And so I added Denko Sekka, which I figured really gives this deck a more competitive element to it than just being focused on pulling out Rainbow Neos. This is the stumpered card for my monsters to my opponents. Where a lot of this is giving speed to my deck in terms of the spells, the speed and the fusion power. This helps kind of give a little bit more flavor in terms of stopping my opponent's abilities to do things. Okay, so for spells, obviously we're trying to fuse here. We've got 3 polymerization, 3 traded. Since I'm using the blue eyes, I want to be able to maybe ditch them to draw some more. That's kind of good idea for draw power. Plus, if I really don't need the trade in for draw power, it's one of those cards I can set and get rid of for Rainbow Neos' one effect to send my opponent's spell and trap cards back to their deck. So it's good for that also, if necessary. Then we've got our elemental hero add power. Besides Shadow Mist, we've got the 3 E-Crawls. Give me the Shadow Mist. Give me the Blazeman. Give me Neos. If I've already got the polymerization and Rainbow Dragon set up in hand, give me the Neos, and we're good to go. Um, and this is the main card that really triggered my deciding to rebuild this deck. And there were three. I've got two in here now. The Melody of Awakening Dragon. You discard a card, one card from your hand, and you add two dragon type monsters. They have to be 3,000 or more attack and 2,500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. Now, when I first saw the card, I'm thinking, okay, this is a Blue Eyes card. I mean, it features Lord of D. I mean, this is... that's what you think of. You instantly think Blue Eyes. 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense. And there are a few other cards that meet those requirements. But I realized that Rainbow Dragon meets those requirements. 4,000 attack is more than 3,000. And 0 defense is definitely less than 2,500 defense. I could use it to add Rainbow Dragon to my hand. And, the hero speaks for themselves. That side of it's always been the easy part. It was always getting Rainbow Dragon in your hand. That was the hard part of running Rainbow Neos. But this guy, he made the spell card makes it really easy. And given I could run 3 of the spell card, it made it really quick to say I could add all 6 of these to my hand just by discarding 3 cards. Play that, discard a card, and add these to my hand without any sweat at all. No, I don't need to add all 6 that way. So, I didn't need to run 3 of them. But this gives me the ability to do 4, or to do 2, and then use the other one for the effect of Rainbow Neos, or whatever. Because I do already have the trade-ins if I just draw into Blue Eyes, or have Blue Eyes in my hand when I draw into trade-in. Say, okay, let's draw 2 new cards. So I've got that, and this made it easier to get the Blue Eyes for the trade-in if I've got the trade-ins already. And it makes it really easy to get the Rainbow Neos. So this was the key for building this deck. I've got 1 Dragon's Mirror, 1 Dark Factory of Mass Production. This is one of the reasons I felt comfortable dropping Neos to 2. I debated dropping Blue Eyes to 2, but I figured with the trade-in ability, I'll keep that at 3. It can still be fused to make more than one option of my fusions, because I can fuse the 3 to make ultimate. I can fuse one of them with Neos, one of them with a summon during the grave, Neosalis, to make first of the dragons, or I can use it with any of my heroes and pull out Shining. So, it's useful for other things than just trading it in. Just being an extra, being the second dragon to add to my hand for the Melody of Awakening Dragon. It's all those things and more. And so Dark Factory makes those cards a little bit more playable. We do want the background destruction. Yes, I've got Senko to mess up some of that. But you've always got to have your Mystical Space Typhoons. So there are 3 Mystical Spaces. Fusion Recovery, again, add my polymerizations back to my hand. Add Neos, add Blazeman, add Shadow Law, whatever I fused with. So I get mostly to get the polymerization back, but especially running only 2 Neos, if I can add back that Neos to make that third Rainbow Neos, that's a really good thing. So I've got 2 of those. And then I realized that I needed something that if Denko Seka is on the field, and yet they've still got some spell or trap or something I just need to deal with. And I don't. I mean, besides the Mystical Space Typhoons, I have another option which I can play face up and use Rainbow Neos' effect with. I wanted something like that, and so I put in 2 skyscrapers. I mean, so I've got for that, and then I've also got the fact that I can use them, and when I attack with one of my heroes, hey, guess what? My monster just got bigger if it was weaker. And then I'm running 3 traps. Didn't want to be very trap heavy because of Denko Senka. I didn't want to be trap heavy. I wasn't going to be trap heavy even before I started putting it in. Mostly I was looking at just the 2 trap stuns. I wasn't even going to have a third trap initially. The trap stuns are basically to give me protection, to bring out Rainbow Neos. That was the big reason for them. And they've been able to do that. They do that. So that's 2 of them. And then I decided, maybe there's another way to protect Rainbow Neos, and maybe even a couple of other monsters if I thought I needed to. Specifically, First of the Dragons or Denko Seka. I can use Safe Zone. So I stuck in 1 Safe Zone just to kind of give me a little bit more protection ability on these monsters. It'll protect Denko Seka. It makes her a whole lot harder to get off the field. First of the Dragons is already fairly difficult to get off the field, but Safe Zone makes it even more so. And, it kind of washes out with Rainbow Neos a bit, but it still makes Rainbow Neos harder to get off the field in the long run, too, if I wanted to do that. Just wouldn't want to attribute it for Rainbow Neos' effect, because then I would destroy my Rainbow Neos. But, it works in general, and so I'd figure that's 1 more trap, and we'll work with it. It's one of those cards. The biggest cards that might come out would be the Skyscrapers at this point. They were the last cards to be added in. For the extra deck, we've got Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. We've got 3 Rainbow Neos, 2 First of the Dragons, 2 Elemental Hero The Shining, 2 Vision Hero Adoration, which I put Adoration in. I could have used Escudero. That would have worked. But I like Adoration's ability a little bit better. Plus, I don't have to have the Dark to make it. I mean, if I've got Shadow Mist, that's great. If I don't, that's fine too. And Nova Master. I've got 2 Nova Masters in here. And then to have some Exceed ability in here, I've got 2 number 101 Shadow Honor Arcs and 1 Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. That's the deck build. I've explained a little bit about how it works, what it's supposed to do. If you have questions about how it works, if you have any suggestions for what you think might improve the deck, if you just like the build, it is a fun build. It's not meant to be competitive against probably the Necloths or the Shadows or the Cliffords or something like that. It may not compete against those as well. I mean, it's a fun build, but it has its strengths, and it can keep up with several decks, I think. So if you like the video, if you want to comment, go ahead and do so. Again, thank you for watching.